In today's world of market volatility and uncertainty, your retirement plans need to be front and center. With ever-changing tax laws, healthcare worries, and an unpredictable stock market, don't overlook the vulnerability in your retirement planning. Protecting your family and estate will be difficult with shifting policies in Washington. It's more important than ever to keep an eye on retirement.
Hi, and welcome into Eye on Retirement. I'm Matt Goolsby, filling in for Rick Everett this week. Today, we're talking about surprises in retirement. How sometimes they can be good and how sometimes they can be maybe a bad surprise, maybe cost you thousands of dollars in higher taxes. But all the surprises we're going to be talking about today can be foreseen, especially if all of your retirement advisors are talking together harmoniously. That's exactly why we brought a team of professionals here with me today to talk about all these things. Today, our panel includes Joshua Sikora, lead CPA from Market Tax Services, Jenna Moody, paralegal with Eidelman Law Firm, and Trey Bassa, healthcare advisor from Market Medicare Advisors. Welcome in, everyone. And we all work together as a team day in, day out, and we see these stories unfold. And we have this particular story to share with everyone this week about Mary. And Mary was someone that we met with, and this is someone that probably came from one of our in-person classes, if my memory serves me right. We will teach them around the metro. But if you don't have the ability to go to see our classes in person, you can go out to our website and find them. But this is someone who was a veteran, just like some of the people that work here on our team are. And Mary, she actually had questions as far as on her estate plan, because she had a child that was, I think one of our attorneys calls them creative spenders, isn't that right?
Yes, absolutely.
It's someone that if you give someone some money, they either might hurt themselves or they're not used to money and they go through money quickly. But getting to know Mary, she had a lot of concerns. That was chief among them. But going through our MAG report process, where we look at different angles, not just the investments, where we look at the retirement solutions, whether when and is the right time to take Social Security, the taxation on that, and we'll get to that in a minute, right?
Sure will. And
then what is the income needs? What are the risks out there? She had all kinds of things going on in her situation that she wasn't familiar with. So, I'm going to ask our lead paralegal, if I maybe call you that, lead paralegal, right? With Eidelman Law Firm, what did you uncover with Mary having this conversation with her about her estate planning concerns?
So most folks came in, similar to Mary. They always came in and they want to talk about how to keep things as simple as possible. They don't want to make, a lot of complicated estate plans for their kids to have to go through, and which is understandable. But as we're having the conversation with Mary, and we start having those family dynamic conversations, we find out that she has a son that she doesn't really want to be part of that statistic that says, inheritances are spent in the first 90 days that they're given. And she has that concern, as a lot of our clients have that same concern. And because who wants to spend an entire lifetime building a nest egg only to pass it to your heir, and it's gone. It's gone.
Nothing to show for it.
Nothing to show for it. So that was, Mary's primary concern when she was talking about her family and, how she wanted her stuff to pass. So most folks, again, when they come in, they're talking about keeping things simple. Mary was like, I just want a will. And we're talking to Mary going, that's not enough. A will is just going to distribute everything all at once, and they're going to give, everything to her son, and, it's gone.
And like you said, the average inheritance is gone in around 90 days between taxes and just people spending it on projects they've had their eyes on. And this kid, he actually has some substance abuse issues, and we'll just leave it at that. But she was worried that if he inherited this bunch of money, that he would go either hurt himself with it or go through it very quickly. Mm-hmm. So she wanted to know, how could she fix that with a will? But working with your guys' teams, you guys said, the will wasn't the right place to go.
It was not the right place. So we knew that we needed to build a trust for Mary. We knew that was something that, she needed, her son needed. for his benefit. And so as long as you know that trust, we built the provisions inside the trust to make sure that there was those abuse provisions, and we built it so that her trustee could control the distributions over his lifetime. Because she wasn't sure when those issues were going to rectify themselves or if they ever would.
But one of the things you heard from Mary while getting to know her and discussing her concerns around estate planning was that she had a certain kind of insurance because she was a veteran, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Veterans will come in and we have a lot to talk about because I too am a veteran. And, Mary was saying that, I don't really need to worry about, my health insurance because I've got TRICARE for life. Awesome. I'm so glad you have TRICARE for life. But she was of an age that had she had those Medicare, conversations, and we needed to bring in a Medicare advisor to make sure that they had those.
But isn't that interesting how someone that was having a conversation with a law firm, they brought up something that had to impact their health care, and they thought it was not anything worth. They thought they had it all handled. It's not worth a conversation. It's blah, blah, blah. You could work with this team member that you have in-house here, the healthcare, the financial advice, and the taxes. Working together as this team, you could recognize that she actually could benefit from talking with one of our healthcare advisors, right?
Absolutely. We see all the pieces of the puzzle.
And so Trey Bassa from Market Medicare Advisors, being an advisor that focuses on Medicare, how could you help Mary with her TRICARE for life?
Coming into the conversation, it's important that we have all of these other pieces at the table because, for instance, perhaps Mary wanted to review her plan while it was coming up while talking with Jenna about X, Y, and Z, and having me there at the table allows us to start that conversation and get to know Mary a little bit more. But it expands from that. Perhaps Mary wants to sell off X, Y, Z assets, or she doesn't want to include them into like the will estate or whatever they might be putting together. All of a sudden, we have to worry about that sale and how that's going to impact her taxes for that year. And then 2 years down the road, that could not improve. Absolutely not. It could increase her Part B premium. So she, remind me, how old is she right now?
She's turning 73 this year.
She's 73 this year. She's going to have to worry about her Part B premium at 75. Now, while you're on TRICARE for life, you have to have Parts A and B. Those are required. And then TRICARE for life acts like the Medicare supplement plan for no additional cost or low premium, or it's like $0 to $20 depending on
the plan, depending on where you live and the state. I get that, but hang on here. So this is someone that thought they didn't need any Medicare because they thought they had TRICARE for life, but something that they can go pick up that either has sometimes no cost out of pocket for them or very little cost out of pocket to them is a Medicare Advantage plan, and that complements their TRICARE?
Absolutely. The idea is the TRICARE for life acts like a supplement plan. No network restrictions, and for the veterans, costs them $0 a month to be a part of. That is going to be their major medical hospital coverage. So while they are available to them, the supplement plans are not going to be the best fit for that veteran. So the other option that they have is a Medicare Advantage plan, which again costs them $0 a month to be a part of. And with that plan comes with a lot of benefits, a lot of goodies, such as built-in dental, vision, hearing, post-hospital stay meal benefits. We also have other plans that give the Medicare beneficiaries gym memberships that give them over-the-counter allowances, quarterly allowances to spend on their online pharmacy. So it's a complement to what has already been afforded to them, their Parts A, B, and their TRICARE for life.
And this isn't anything that's required of anyone, but Mary had no idea that these plans were even available to her because she was on this TRICARE for life. And I'll admit, Medicare can be very confusing because it's different. It covers you differently with different things when you switch from your work plan or your employer plan onto this government insurance system. And you almost need someone that speaks this language and can navigate you through these things every year because it changes.
These plans are always changing. They're changing their benefits, what they're covering, or their co-payments, etc. But the bottom line is they're always changing. For what I see is for the better. These Medicare Advantage plans, they're fine-tuning co-payments, they're fine-tuning benefits, and it gets better in some places. But that's why you, as the beneficiary, and Mary has the opportunity to review her plan and change every year between October 15th through December 7th. That Medicare Advantage plan is not a one and done deal. We always want to sit down with clients and review that every year.
I was just getting ready to ask, some people really hate Medicare Advantage. You don't care which direction they go. When you're walking people through these plans or their options, you say, hey, this is how you get covered this way, and this is how you're covered over here. And you let the individual pick their plan, right?
We talk them through both options because we write both. It's important that they have the autonomy to know what they're getting with each option and choose themselves. Because in Mary's situation, she's already getting one option, a pseudo Medicare supplement plan, but she has also the ability to pick up that Advantage plan.
And that would be very complementary to her TRICARE for Life, adding her even more benefits even into what the coverage she's getting now.
Exactly. Because most Medicare beneficiaries, they can't have both the Medicare supplement plan and the Advantage plan. But Mary, she's essentially getting both, with TRICARE for Life acting like that Medicare supplement plan. Picking up the Medicare Advantage plan for all of the benefits and goodies, now all of a sudden she has parts A and B Medicare, she has TRICARE for Life, and a Medicare Advantage plan. She has all four of those things in her corner for her healthcare and retirement.
And when we're working with Mary and meeting with her the first time as this complete team, she was shocked to find out all these different things she was unaware of that were going on right in her situation. And think to yourself, are you like Mary? Do you have surprises lurking in your retirement plan? What are the weak spots? At Market Advisor Group, we have a whole new process to help retirees get answers before life's plans unexpectedly change. We call it our MAG report. That stands for Market Advisory Group's Retirement Evaluation Process, Other Risks and Taxes. This approach is designed to stress test your retirement plan to discover any weaknesses now or before they cost you thousands of dollars down the road. And it starts with just a 15-minute introductory call to answer any questions you might have. And if you want to set up that 15-minute call, I encourage you to do so right now. And you just dial 833-MAG-REPORT. That's 833-MAG-REPORT. Or you can visit our website at ionretirement.com, or you can check out past episodes while you're there. We focus on different client stories where retirement went wrong. Stay tuned. In the next segment of Ion Retirement, we'll focus on a hidden tax connected with Social Security, and we'll be right back right after this.
Out on the water, there is a moment. Perfect synchronization. The team working together in harmony to reach their goal. Now, imagine finding a team of financial professionals to help run your course down the river of retirement. Market Advisory Group is that team. Financial advisors, tax professionals, estate planning attorneys, and Medicare advisors. All in the same boat. If you don't have a team like this in one place, it can become a hassle to relay information between them. When you come to Market Advisory Group, we bring everyone together for you. To get you answers in real time. To help make sure you don't miss something that puts your unique plan off course. You shouldn't be the one doing all the work to keep your retirement on pace. You should have a team in the boat with you. Your voice telling them where you're at, where you'd like to end up, and how you want to get there. And at that point, everyone falls into sync, all pulling in the same direction, toward the same purpose. Your retirement's financial security.
We are Market Advisory Group, proud sponsor of Shocker Rowing.
Hi, and welcome back into Eye on Retirement. Our regular viewers know that we talk a lot about having all your advisors work together around the same table. Now I want to take a closer look at Mary's plan and what can happen when your advisors aren't working all together at the same place. So, this happens, and I teach this in one of our classes, our Social Security class and also our taxes and retirement class. But what you have to understand here is when you start taking your Social Security, depending on how much of it gets taxed, it's based on how much other income you have going on. And when I say income, I don't want you to get hung up and say, well, I'm not taking any money out of my account, because sometimes you can have income things happening in the background and not even be receiving the money, but it's changing how you're being taxed, okay? And so I want to go over this example here, and we have here tax planning with Mary, and when we were going through tax planning, it was easy to uncover this, and it was easy to figure out what was going on, but Mary had no idea this was going on in the background because her financial advisor wasn't working with a CPA alongside her retirement strategies. So Mary's retired, and she has a taxable income of $42,475. Now, I stress the word taxable income because she's taking other income out of this account, and she's taking more than this, and it's not being taxed on all of it. So she's taking $38,000 a year out of her retirement account to supplement the $25,000 she's receiving in Social Security benefits, okay? Now, see, Mary, she's starting to get where she doesn't like market risk. She doesn't want to go ride the ups and downs of the roller coasters of the stock market. So she's turned to the bank. And at the bank, she can put her money in this CD, and she doesn't have all the ups and downs that are associated with market volatility. But what Mary doesn't understand is that in this CD at the bank, it's going to kick off interest. And even though Mary doesn't take physical receipt of any of the interest income, it still changes how her Social Security gets taxed, okay? So she receives $1,000 in interest from this CD at the bank. She doesn't take it and spend it. She doesn't even take it out of the CD, but she receives a 1099 for it, okay? And that's going to change how much in taxes she'll owe on her Social Security by just having this interest income. So care to take a guess at how much she would owe on this tax or on the interest from this CD at the bank? Well, back in 2021, when we first met Mary and we went through this, we found that Mary, because of her income, the taxable income being at $42,475, she's in a 22% tax bracket. But what's happening here is it's changing this $1,000 in interest. It's changing how her Social Security will be taxed. So if you look at this extra $1,000 of interest from the CD at the bank, she really owes taxes at 22% on more than just the $1,000. She owes the taxes on $1,850, okay? And when you think about that, that was only an extra $1,000 of income that had that big of an impact on her taxes. Why is she paying taxes at $407 on this $1,000 interest that she's getting credited towards her account? It's because of how the Social Security taxation is set up. And if your advisors aren't working together, if you think your retirement plan could benefit from having a whole team at the same table, all it takes is a 15-minute call to find out what you could be missing in your situation. And to set up that 15-minute phone call, call us at 833-MAG-REPORT, or that's 833-MAG-REPORT, or check out the website, eyeonretirement.com. There you can also watch past episodes or submit a question for us to possibly answer in a future episode. In the next segment of Eye on Retirement, we're going to go back over and talk with lead CPA Joshua Sikoria about Mary's story and what she could have done and what we did to help her save money on taxes. We'll be right back right after this.
How confident are you in your current financial plan? Do you know with certainty how the recent market volatility will affect your future hopes and dreams? How much are you paying in taxes? And how much are you losing to unnecessary high fees? You didn't work to save this money so that you could spend your time worried in retirement. Now is the time to take charge of your finances so you can feel confident about your future. Call in during the next 30 minutes of today's show only to set up an absolutely complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review that will result in your own customized written plan. We'll start with a full-blown analysis of what you already have by running a report to untangle how much you are currently paying in fees, how you're allocated for risk, and what it's costing to work with your current advisor. Next, we'll identify your goals. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where do you want to go, and who do you hope to go there with? Is your current financial plan set up to get you there without mishap? Let's design a roadmap to create a financial plan you can follow with confidence. Get the piece that so many people are missing from their retirement. Find out how having a written plan can make a difference to your retirement dreams. Call now to schedule your complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review today.
Hi, and welcome back into Ion Retirement. I'm Matt Goolsby, filling in this week for Rick Everett, but we want to continue this conversation with our panel about Mary's story, and I now want to bring in our CPA. We've heard from the law firm department, we've heard from the healthcare advisors, and now the financial advisors come into the mix. Mary had no idea this was going on, and this is not uncommon.
No, we've heard this regularly from people probably over the last couple of years as interest rates have gone up. They're starting to see what have typically just investments that have typically generated a little bit of income now starting to kick in more and more into the into their tax return. And while it's great to have that growth, it kind of is not so great when you get to the taxes, because now she owes this extra taxes, not just on that interest, which was probably a little more than she was expecting, but then, like you were just talking about, that whole Social Security component was a surprise. And unlike trays, these were not good surprises.
And you're right, surprises is probably a good way to kind of sum up how she went through this experience. She thought everything was hunky-dory, besides maybe the estate plan where she knew she needed to do something for her kids there because she had a child that has some spending issues. Yeah. But she wanted to maybe take a look at this in a 360 view from every angle, and she was so surprised at learning all these different things can be happening in the background, and you really have no idea. Specifically with what was going on with her taxes, we now work with Mary. We've been working with her for 2 or 3 years now. We go through tax planning in October, November, and December, and we avoid mistakes like this that she was having before meeting us.
Yeah, so one of the things we talked about is how to change the nature of that investment so that while she was still getting that growth she liked, because let's be honest, who doesn't like growth, right? She was doing so in a more tax advantage fashion so that she wasn't triggering the taxes until she took cash out. You know, we're pretty accustomed to when you get the cash, you have to pay taxes. I mean, that's the way your paycheck works, right? It's the fact that CD interest was kicking in income, but her other sources of income were having to pay the tax on it.
But where you make it sound so carefree, so matter of fact, when you say that she could restructure things where she only paid taxes when she took the withdrawal instead of paying taxes ongoing, that's something that requires a tax person like yourself working alongside a financial advisor as a team. Because if you're not looking at this from a tax analysis standpoint, the financial advisor could be missing this entirely.
Right, because how would the financial advisor see it? Because they're not looking at all these different components. That's the great thing about all sitting around the same conference table at the same time, is that we can talk about things from all these different perspectives. The client hears how these pieces fit together, and then we can hear what the other professionals say, and then our own discipline plays into it to talk about how what is going on one side of the table affects this side of the table.
And so now, we've been talking about Mary before she's turned her age of 73, where she has to start taking money out of it. Now this is going to aggravate her taxation on her Social Security even more because of these required minimum distributions. It's changing her tax situation.
That's right. And as she continues to get older, those required distributions don't go away. In fact, the piece that Uncle Sam says you have to take out every year just escalates every year you get older.
Now, what was interesting is while we were uncovering this situation, you found that she could actually give money to her church doing a QCD or qualified charitable. This was a really beneficial story altogether, and we could really spend a whole hour on this. We don't have that. But there were so many things to unpack here, and going through this MAG report process with us, she discovered all these other issues.
That's the nice thing about working through that process, is that we always make sure we take a look at these different components and do so in a regimented fashion so that we make sure things don't get missed. We talk about how the different, like the taxes, the risk management, the other things that are going on all play in to make that retirement successful for her.
Do you find that most people are surprised they didn't know that this much was going on?
Regularly.
And guys, you're at home there. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this today, it's this stuff is complicated. And even when you only think about one part of it, you have to think about there's so much more to it. In the real world, all the aspects of retirements push and pull against one another. And your investments can affect your taxes. And your taxes can affect your investments. Estate planning, it can affect your Medicare. And if you don't have all these advisors all working together, what are you missing? If you'd like to set up a 15-minute phone call with Market Advisor Group, just to see if we could help you or ask any questions of us or get answers maybe in real time, please reach out right now at 833-MAG-REPORT or the 833-MAG-REPORT, or go over to our website, ionretirement.com. You can also check out past episodes that highlight the different changes and challenges of people just like you. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Matt Goolsby, along with the entire panel, reminding you we're here to keep an eye on retirement.
Unless otherwise indicated, all client and prospect names mentioned on this show have been changed to protect the identities of the individuals discussed. Investment advisory services are offered through Foundations Investment Advisors LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The content provided is intended for informational and educational purposes only. The views, statements, and opinions expressed herein are those of the individual speakers and not necessarily those of Foundations and its affiliates. The information contained herein does not constitute an offer to sell any securities or represent an express or implied opinion or endorsement of any specific investment opportunity, offering, or issuer. Any discussion of performance or returns are not indicative of future results. Each individual investor situation is different, and any ideas provided may not be appropriate for your particular circumstances. Foundations only transacts business in the states where it is registered or excluded or exempt from registration requirements. Registration as an investment advisor is not an endorsement of the firm by security regulators and does not mean the advisor has achieved a specific level of skill or ability. No legal or tax advice is provided. Always consult with a tax professional. Legal services are offered by Edelman Law Firm. Tax services offered by Market Tax Services. Market Advisory Group does not provide legal or tax advice. Any comments regarding safe and secure investments and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not in any way refer to investment advisory products. Rates and guarantees provided by insurance products and annuities are subject to the financial strength of the issuing insurance company, not guaranteed by any bank or the FDIC. The guest commentators featured in this show are not investment advisor representatives of Foundations and do not provide advisory services. Market Advisory Group does have several investment advisor representatives that can provide such services. This is not endorsed or affiliated with any U.S. government agency, the Social Security Administration, or associated with any federal Medicare program. We do not offer every plan available in your area. Any information we provide is limited to those plans we do offer in your area. Please contact Medicare.gov or 1-800-MEDICARE to get information on all of your options. A Roth conversion may not be suitable for your situation. The primary goal in converting retirement assets into a Roth IRA is to reduce the future tax liability on the distributions you take in retirement or on the distributions of your beneficiaries. The information provided is to help you determine whether or not a Roth IRA conversion may be appropriate for your particular circumstances. Please review your retirement savings, tax, and legacy planning strategies with your legal/tax advisor to be sure a Roth IRA conversion fits into your planning strategies. All rights reserved.